How you doing, guys? This is David Cruz from the Optimum Advantage Podcast. I'm joined today by Daryl Wallace. He's the owner and founder of One Talk, and I'm kind of excited to talk to him today. He's in a new sector we haven't really touched on. So, how you doing, Daryl?
Doing great, David. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. So, can you tell us a little bit about like what One Talk is, what your company does?
Yeah, we're doing digitalization consulting for companies in the South Pacific and in the US. So we help companies, government departments go into things like ERP and digital communications to streamline their flows.
Wow. Okay, so you do like CRMs, that kind of stuff, like ERPs, like for
That's
people
it.
that don't know what that is, can you break that down a little bit?
Yeah, so we've got a particular platform called Odoo.com. It is an ERP that includes CRM. So ERP is enterprise resource planning. It enables a company to be able to run their entire operations on through the system. So everything from sales, quotations, marketing, customer management, manufacturing, control processes, checking in, invoicing, like collection accounts. It all takes place under the one umbrella.
Wow, that's incredible actually, because normally you see people in these fields they'll like niche down into kind of like one section, but with the ERP, you're basically able to manage an entire company's operations, really. Like, how did you
That's
get
right.
into that part of it?
So, I mean, I started off building websites back in the 2000s. So I
Oh,
launched airlines online, mobile phone companies doing e-commerce. And steadily over time, that's kind of grown from doing e-commerce front end, reconciliation of orders, CRM, customer management. So now it's just broadening out into doing more of the kind of manufacturing, bills of materials. Yeah, I mean, all business is business, so it works
that's crazy.
online.
Yeah. Now, can I actually? I saw that you're in Papua New Guinea.
No, my team's in Papua New Guinea for one top.
Okay.
So I have a team working out of there. We have clients coming in from there, and then we have a US operations, which I lead here.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Okay. And how recently did you expand that?
We started last year in April. So we've had our first few clients, been really successful. Classically, ERPs are a pain to set up. They take 3 to 6 months for a small entity and larger. So some of the monstrosities of ERP deployments have been 2 to 3 years of building, and often with yeah, I mean, there's a kind of 30% failure rate for ERP kickoffs. So our platform with Odoo is a lot slicker and it allows us to launch clients in weeks rather than months. It's
Wow.
a configurable system that allows us to basically configure the needs of the client over any customizations. So the customizations come out after we've deployed the kind of vanilla version. And then there's additional features that we can custom build as it's needed.
Oh, I got you. So you set up like the base structure, and then as it starts moving along, that way you guys could do it in a couple weeks. It starts like adding on, kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's all very modular. So all of the different platform, all the different modules like the CRM and the project and even the website, it all comes from the same database.
I mean, that's a great benefit too, just to have that integrated, because then you could really follow your pipeline the entire way through, and you could probably manage budgets better. Like, it's like, what kind of companies have you worked with so far?
So we've done a maritime operation, so with the ships and a Chandler operation and a water bottling company. And our latest client is a government agency involved in power. It's the National Energy Authority in Papua New Guinea that does does the regulations of electricians and regulates the power producers in the country.
Wow, man. That's crazy. So I'm guessing you got into like the website building during the dot-com boom. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right.
No, that's like the perfect time to do it. How did you, can you tell me a little bit of like how that kind of developed into what you're doing now? Like, was it just like the natural progression? You had a company and then as the needs came, or was it something you got into in a different way?
So I was working in a company that didn't have a website and didn't have any web presence when I was working there. And I suggested that we should set up a website, and they gave me the reins to do that. So I set up a website. I set up online bookings it was a conference company. So we were doing bookings for delegates coming in on the conferences. So I did e-commerce capability, pay by credit card. That spun off. I got approached by another company to do the same thing. And then I started up an agency that was in Dubai. So there was a lot of dynamism going on in the market at the time. So spun off websites for Dubai College. And then I moved into airlines and I launched QatarAirways.com. That was the first Arabic booking engine in the world. And then from there, I kind of moved to London. I did consulting gigs for larger enterprises, Her Majesty's government. And then, and then I moved to the US when I got married and did the same thing for Accenture and other big brand names. So it changed from being a small team doing like 3 or 4 people building a website, delivering that, to scaling up to T-Mobile, where we had 400 people in like 20 different channels that were doing different parts of the customer experience online, in shop, over the phone. So it's metamorphized. Is that the right word?
Sounds correct. I get what you're saying. No, but that's incredible, man, because I couldn't imagine how it was to do that back in the day. Now our company kind of does the same thing too. The knowledge is there, right? Like, whereas how did you even learn how to do this back in the day? Like, that's.
Yeah. I mean, I learned HTML, CSS. I was getting involved in the code. As the teams grew, I became more like a business analyst and a product owner. So I started getting into firms where we were doing Agile, Scrum, where I would perform the role of product owner. So I pulled away from the technology just because I didn't do that as a degree. I didn't have a background in technology, but even today I look at the code and evaluate it on the code level. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work going into it, like research. But yeah, as you say, today the tools are amazing. So you're able to spin off websites, build entire web applications through AI prompts.
Yeah. It's just that I can't imagine. I remember back in the day in the 2000s, websites were fairly new. So I'm just blown away, really, that you would even know. Because I remember, I forget what year it was, but like even the games were so undeveloped. I remember I built a computer when I was a little kid. It was like a AOL computer. It was on dial-up and all that stuff. And when I say build it, I just mean like put it together, right? Like I didn't actually put the CPU and everything. Like it was just unplugged, and I thought that was like the coolest thing. And then fast forward to now, somebody with literally no experience could just buy all the parts and just ask ChatGPT how to do it. It's a crazy experience, man. So have you always been kind of like tech savvy with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think my father would say that, if there was ever any technology in the house, then they would ask me to figure it out and fix it, whether it was the video VHS recorder or, any kind of technology that came into the house. I was the go-to guy.
No, that's awesome. I mean, clearly it paid off, man. I mean, you definitely got, something big now. And how's that been like as far as the change, right? Because you got I'm sure that like you said, like at first you were focused on the technology. Now you're kind of like on the operation side of just, you know, making sure everything goes well from like a macro level, right? Like how's that change been?
Well, it comes down to the fact that most technology problems are 80% is a human problem. The technology is pretty easy to set about, and bringing a technology into a company like an ERP, it's about the people. It's about moving their existing working practices from where they're doing it manually with spreadsheets, with docs, and then moving it over onto a platform. So that guidance, education, repeating, there's a lot of repeating. You kind of move people over to the platform, you see how they're using it, then you kind of adjust. A lot of the issues with ERPs is bad data entry. So getting people to work on improved data entry, completeness of data input. It's a big challenge. So yeah, I think on the macro level, like you're saying, it's a human problem that needs to be solved. So that's a lot about change management. It's about guiding people when they're uncertain. And, you've got people who might have been doing their job for 20, 30 years, and you're telling them that they've got to move over to a new platform and do their job in a different way. And so there's a lot of uncertainty around that. So a lot of it is just building up confidence on the new platforms.
Wow. See, when you first mentioned that what you did, I didn't realize it was so like integrated. Like you're actually there training their people, not just how to use it, but even after they're using it, like kind of how to like get to a state. That's crazy. That's like it must take a lot of skill and experience to do that because um I have a company that does kind of not on your level, right? To where we're doing the ERP and stuff, but like, CRM, website building and stuff like that. And like to really think about what it would take to take an entire company and literally change the whole. So you're kind of in like business consulting, right? I guess that's what you could say. It's like because
Yeah,
that's like a whole revamp.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's command and control. It's you have to start with the leadership. They have to be comfortable with the direction. And then, yeah, it's the culture of the organization. So you have to come in, you have to understand the culture, have to understand who's adding value, how is the value chain, mapping the value chain out so that you're able to kind of take it from the sales, marketing aspects of the company right through to the value delivery, processing, product creation, product development, um, um, manufacturing, right through to kind of sales, distribution. So yeah, we map out that entire flow and we understand where the pain points are along that flow. So we ensure that the technology is removing those pain points.
Wow. And as far as like getting that process through it, what I guess you said the people sometimes is a big challenge, but who are the people that like your main customers? Like who are the type of companies that go like, hey, we want to revamp this entire system? Is it somebody that's looking to increase their revenue? Is it somebody that's like gaining like you know what I mean? Like what is your ICP, I guess, that type of companies that come to you?
So it's classically the finance manager, the chief of chief of operations, IT manager, just CTOs. Um, but fundamentally, it's the accounts, the accounting and finance division. So they're the ones who are picking up the mess at the end of the day, like
Mm.
missing stock valuations, like trying to they've got the numbers on the sales, marketing kind of efficiencies, and they're the ones who kind of see all the numbers behind the company and know where there's mistakes and know where there's gaps in the business. So they're the ones who often drive the usage of an ERP for their needs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a ingenious idea just to have it built because now with the technology that we have, I mean, it's so when you have a company operating like that, it's it's incredible. So, definitely you're the first person though that I think I've talked to that does like an entire revamp of a company like that. Is there any
Cool.
specific areas you're like looking to work with in the US or just generally like looking for whatever and because you say you're expanding in the US, right?
Yeah, so I've been going down the maritime path over the last few months, and I've been working with a company in New York that wants to do a new revamp for maritime document management control. And I've been putting together a new kind of business concept with them called FastFleet, fastfleet.pro. And that's so a lot of my time's kind of going into that right now, even though One Talk's operational. So that would be a new startup that would spin off that's enables AI analysis of maritime documentation, uh, like anchoring it to the blockchain for immutability so that there's tamper-proof record of when documents were created and when they're tracked. And then, so we're looking to launch that in the next few months. Um, you know, I guess that's come out of the work that I've done for the maritime industry in Papua New Guinea with the One Talk. So,
Oh,
yeah,
super interesting, man. Like, I guess I'm in the place where I'm at in New Jersey. We're actually in one of like the biggest sectors. The one of the biggest ports in the U.S. is here, the Elizabeth Port. So, I never had any experience working with those types of companies, but they're absolutely massive, and super crucial. I mean, like the guys that worked at the docks, they like without them, like the whole country stopped. So I think they actually they
split.
went on strike and they were able to get like a 75% increase because like it and that shows you, I say that to say that like they're so crucial in the entire like country, really. Very interesting
Yeah.
sector.
Yeah, the maritime industry is in a plight right now in the US. I think they're short 150,000 workers. They are swamped by documentation and regulations. So our plan is to streamline the whole documentation for ships coming into port, ships leaving port, their bills of lading, their certification and compliance documents for their ships, and streamline that. They're like people are just swamped by the paperwork right now.
Oh, God. Now, are you using AI tools to do that?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm building the tool. I'm building the application in a tool called Bolt.new. That builds the application for me. We're using AI. We're using a number of AI large language models to analyze the documents to raise risk awareness, compliance risks, and ensure that the ship is fully functioning and operational as per requirements.
So is the documents that it's, I guess, reading, more like diagram type documents to the he needs to know so or is it just statistics like, you know what I
No,
mean?
so there's documents like so there's reports that come out. So every ship does a noon report uh, that communicates its status with onshore parties. There's documents like registration of the ship, insurance documents. So they
Mm.
have hull and machinery insurance as well as insurance for the ship. There's crew compliance. There's the whole provisions management for the crew on board and the crew welfare. There's documents on kind of so every piece of equipment, safety equipment, operational equipment on board needs to have some certificate. So a ship can't sail without radio equipment or like a whole range of equipment being in order. So ports will inspect a vessel to ensure compliance. And when they're not in compliance, there can be huge penalties in terms of price, in terms of penalty fees and holding the ship in port until it can pass certain safety equipment specifications.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, you know, you never really think about that because I must drive past that every day. But the intricacies of like keeping a ship safe, like you know, like making sure. I guess yeah, I never even thought about making sure the crew's good, all that stuff. I had no, and I can't even imagine how swamped it is. Is all that regulation? Is that government regulations that need to be passed through, or is it per company?
Yeah, so there's the ship that has the owner who wants to have the whole operation working sweetly. Then you have the crew on board who all have to have their certifications in order. So there's International Maritime Organization certifications. There's SOLAS, which is your safety at sea certifications. And then, yeah, you have the Port Authority. So the Port Authority acts like the government in terms of, is that ship? You know, today there's the issue around dark fleet ships that have been shipping sanctioned oil from Iran, Venezuela, or Russia. So they can impound a ship if it doesn't meet certain international standards.
Wow. So it's not just the one thing. It's like a whole slew of different people that you have to get across. Wow.
That's
That's
right.
yeah, yeah. I could see how optimizing that would make it 10 times easier, yeah. And
Yeah.
thank God for AI because I mean the tools that have come out of this is incredible. I mean, other than making like applications and things like that, like what other AI tools have you used in your business like that you had experience
Yeah.
with?
I'm a big fan of Claude. Yeah, so Claude's my power right now. So there's an extension on the Pro, which is called Co-work, that allows you to manage your entire desktop, your schedule, your emails, your calendar. So Claude Co-work is my favorite tool. I've used to use Base 4.4 just to do proof of concepts, upfront designs of websites. That's getting good. But as I mentioned, Bolt.new is the AI tool of choice for actually building the applications. Yeah. So
Definitely Claude. You know, I started using that a little bit lately because it has over ChatGPT has like a kind of a better way of making things sound more human or like there's just certain advantages with Claude that I really enjoy. But and it's also
right.
like there's entire YouTube videos that will go down rabbit holes on how to edit Claude behind the scenes. So like you can get different, you know, pull out of it in different ways. And I think there's a big community around Claude. I don't know if
Yeah.
ChatGPT has the same thing, but I've just been going down that rabbit hole recently. Um,
Good. Good. Stay
yeah,
away from ChatGPT. Yeah.
yeah.
OpenAI is not to be trusted.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean, man. I like Claude too because it's like I feel like it's everything in one place. You know, you really don't have to go too far. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just incredible the tools that are coming out, man. And I'm really interested in the business that you're doing as far as like mapping an entire business. I'll definitely have to check you out. If anybody does want to check you out, where can they see you?
So I'm on darylwallace.com. And then you can check out onetalk.org, onetalk.com, and onetalk.us are those sites. And then there's FastFleet Pro, fastfleet.pro that we're launching in the next few days.
FastFleet.pro. Okay, and that's the new one that you're doing with the maritime stuff?
That's right.
Gotcha. Well, listen, Daryl, I really appreciate you coming on. Super interesting, and thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, David. Have a great day.
You too, man.
Bye.